Right. The Acolyte, you'll be glad to know, Bo, won't be coming back for a second season. They have cancelled it. I know, amazing. A few things that are funny. So this is all about the fact that apparently they were planning a second season like right now, because people are coping online. They're like, it wasn't cancelled, actually. It just wasn't greenlit for a second season. It's like, it's the same thing. Shut up. Come on now. The pedantism, like that's just the same thing. What are you doing? But we have John Rocha here saying, according to my sources at Disney and Lucasfilm, the studio was in fact putting together a season 2 writers' room for The Acolyte back in February, and with Leslie Headland, and had been quietly inquiring about the interest level and availability of directors for season 2 as recently as last month. The show definitely had a soft green light to continue. Oh, and Disney's internal language currently describes the show as cancelled, despite what they're saying publicly. So yeah, it was cancelled. I mean, obviously it was cancelled, and it was obvious it was cancelled because they spent $180 million on it. They left multiple plot threads unanswered, and they left it on a cliffhanger. So yeah, obviously they were setting it up for more stuff. Like, obviously that's a cancellation. Obviously it was planned to be multiple seasons. Obviously. Otherwise it just would have been one movie, one and done. Obviously. Why do I have to, like, the people that like this are retarded, right? They genuinely are. They don't understand basic, like, plot, narrative structure. They don't understand just the most simplistic of things. So, yeah, obviously it's cancelled. Because, yeah, obviously it was meant to go on. And off the back end of that, just heavily comically, they've nuked all the merchandise. So this is how quickly they're trying to get rid of it, right? They had multiple, they had merchandise for the Acolyte. Obviously, it's Disney. They're merchandising, and they've just wiped it all completely from the Disney store. Just gone, done. I mean, that's drastic, isn't it? I mean, I get it.
Memory hold it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like this didn't happen.
Well,
it didn't happen.
So now there's debate in our sphere about whether or not this is going to get willowed.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
Meaning what?
Willow.
Sorry, exactly.
So Bo. So Willow is basically what they'll do is they'll write it off as a tax issue. So they will completely remove it entirely from existence. They will remove it from Disney Plus. They'll remove it from any other streaming sites that's been using it. If they sold it to anyone, anything like that, and it basically sits in a vault and will never be seen again, ever.
They did that to Willow.
They can't. Yeah, they did it because Willow had a Disney Plus show, and it was a huge failure. So they did the same thing with that.
Oh, the show! I'm thinking of the old '80s movie.
Yeah, no. Well, they followed
Willow.
it up. A garbage TV
the show. Willow.
But,
sorry, I understand.
But yeah, I reckon they'll do that as well, just to be like, well, we'll do a $180 million tax break then.
Yep.
I mean, it is silly. It's like saying you're not fired, but you don't need to come to work anymore, and you won't be getting any more paychecks. You're not fired though.
No.
That's not what's happening here. But don't come in anymore.
Don't believe your lying eyes. Like, all right, come on, behave.
And if they were working on their ideas and everything for season 2, then they were already spending money on
true, pre-production. Yeah. Would have already had ideas for season 2. They set it up. Yep. Season 1 ended with a cliffhanger, with plot threads untied up. Like, I mean, come on. Yeah. Obviously, it was meant for more.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious what they are going to do as far as canon goes now. Is if they pull it off and they willow it, are they going to say, okay, this was one and done? It never happened. It's not Disney Star Wars canon now. Or are they going to be like, yeah, it's canon, but you just can't watch the show?
Maybe they'll follow it up in like a comic or something like that.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I mean, honestly, this is coming straight out of the Let's Get High Republic, and that was a flop from beginning to end.
Yep.
So, I mean, this was the tail end of the thing they couldn't start, which was the High Republic books and such. So they only had one book that got close to 1 million, and that was the first one. Everything after that was a steep decline in interest. So when you have access to data and facts and you throw them in Disney's face, they don't really like that. You get really unhappy. And you can throw it in front of all these shills now that not only do we know for a fact how these shows are performing based on the Nielsen ratings, because it's built into Disney Plus, it actually has you have to opt out if you don't want Nielsen ratings represented in your Disney Plus. They basically automatically report that data right there. So if you're numbers, those are real numbers because Disney uses them.
Well, yeah, they are. Yeah, they pay for it basically as well.
Yeah.
They pay for that tracking.
Which it's funny because 2 years ago. So I'm sorry.
Everyone's like, oh, it was just a bunch of racists and incels that didn't like it, and they just don't like diversity and blah blah blah. I mean, it's all the same crap that everyone just wheels out every single time. But it is comical because House of the Dragon season 2, that's still going. Oh, House of Dragon still going.
Oh yeah, they're going to get. You're going to get all 4 you're going to get all 4 seasons of that, right? So there's that.
Yeah. Well, people are actually watching it as well. People actually like it.
Yeah,
in spite of those things. And
again, all of these things should remind you that what they offer in streaming services are hollow because they're not popular. HBO was already making House of the Dragon before they really moved into, the streaming space. They were already going to be making more of Game of Thrones. That was already set in stone, even prior to the reverse Morris Trust move that they made to spin out Warner Brothers with Discovery. But the thing to notice there is that there's nothing of quality being offered anywhere other than maybe Netflix. And Netflix did it off of borrowed IP, like, Cobra Kai and such. But like I said, there's nothing of interest on any of these streaming services that should keep you there for $30 a month. Anyway,
it's way too expensive. Like all of these streaming services are way too expensive now.
Yeah, because all of these are going to go to
Amazon is dog shit. So I have Amazon Prime for next day delivery.
Right.
I ordered something for next day delivery. Now they're going to tell me it's turning up in another 2 days. That's 3 days, mate. That's not next day delivery, is it? And I can't cancel my bloody order because they're like, well, it's been dispatched. Well, not within the time frame you quoted.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Anyway, it's my rant of the day. Incredibly annoyed with Amazon.
Well, I ordered like several things for the studio. And they instead of the next day, which they were all scheduled for, it was like a week later. So be grateful it's a 3-day wait. So
yeah, mine was supposed to be 1 day.
I pay for next day delivery.
But yeah, now it's not going to be here till tomorrow. So
very frustrating. Very frustrating. So yeah, I mean, I almost can't get over the fact that they've just completely removed it. Like it's gone. So they had all this kind of shitty merchandise, right? Like, I mean, this is just, God, it's bad, isn't it?
All gone. But Hasbro still has all the Acolyte toys and stuff on their website for pre-order. That's the only way you can get Acolyte stuff right now is if you it's on Hasbro Pulse, and you can actually pre-order Acolyte figures. But I guarantee you they are not going to get enough people, and they're going to end up canceling all those orders and refunding everybody their money back that pre-ordered.
Yeah, Bo, I have to ask you because you've been a bit quiet on this one. Were you excited for season 2 of Acolyte?
No, not at all. The thing I've been thinking about is, the Star Wars Christmas special.
Yeah.
And that for quite a few years, that was like some people had recorded it on VHS.
Yeah.
And they were gold.
Yeah.
They were gold. I wonder if anyone's, actually got the Acolyte on a memory stick or on a CD-ROM.
Yeah.
physically got it. And it'll be passed around like an actual an artifact of value, even though the actual thing is crap, is laughable,
hot garbage.
But I don't know. I feel like that it's exactly what the Acolyte deserves, isn't it? It deserves it. I'm just surprised that they actually are doing this. I thought they'd just stick to it. Maybe not have a second season or anything, but to actually try and sort of yeet it from existence. I'm surprised they've done that. They're going with it. I thought they would just keep doubling down and keep doubling down forever. That's what I would have put money on them doing. But
they really can't. They really can't afford it, Bo. I mean, this thing, $200 million waste, and they haven't quite willowed it yet. It's just we anticipate that they will. Yeah. There's if they need to do more quote unquote cost cutting, this is going to get cost cut. So, and it will be the.
They have. I mean, they've yeeted the merchandise from existence. I mean, that's pretty. Well, that's a weird thing to do because you could still earn money from it. Like, it's a weird thing.
It is. But this will either be the third or the fourth thing that Lucasfilm has produced that will be willowed, because Willow was the original Willow, right? Then they yeeted the Star Wars hotel, which was based on the Let's Get High Republic,
with billions of dollars.
Yeah. Then they're yeeting the merchandise, right? Then they're going to yeet this show. It could be the fourth thing that they yeet. Although I don't even, did they yeet the Willow merchandise, or was there any? See, this is the other.
Yeah, there was Willow merch. Yeah. No, there never was actually. Sorry, no, there never was Willow merchandise. That was the funny thing about that show, is that they never actually made any merchandise for it, which is again unusual for a company which makes just extortionate amounts of cash from merchandise and stuff. Like, it's just bizarre that they wouldn't do that already or have it set up. But then they've been dropping the balls on those kind of things for a while anyway. Because I remember the Mandalorian, they never set up merchandise for Grogu, which was always a bit bizarre. There was a massive delay on that. They were suddenly like, "Oh, this is popular. Actually, we should probably make merchandise." It's like, did anyone watch this before you released it? Like, what are you doing, idiots?
Because I don't keep my finger on the pulse of these things exactly. What's happening with Ahsoka? Is that still? Are they going to make more?
Don't know, actually.
Season two is filming or about to film, or has done some preliminary filming.
Has it? Didn't know.
Yeah. Nick, you want to confirm that they also included some of the filming for Ahsoka season 2 during season 1 as well?
Yeah, they actually did. And word is that we got from somebody who's actually directly working on set, is actually in the show, of whose name I'm not going to say, is actually said that they're going to start filming Ahsoka season 2 April of next year. So,
okay, interesting.
It is moving forward. They have pretty much everything in place, ready to go. It's just everybody's schedule, isn't going to line up until April next year. So first part of April next year, they're going to start filming season 2 of Ahsoka.
Yeah, the only other Star Wars thing you're getting this year is Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Space babies.
Yep, Goonies in space.
Got Adventures in Star Wars babysitting.
Well, it's called Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton.
Yeah. Basically, it's a bunch of kids get lost. Yeah.
Isn't that an old Stephen King novel?
No, maybe, but this is different. This is an obviously retired hiding out Jedi who ends up babysitting 4 different alien kids.
He's British, so the likelihood is that he'll just be and a white guy, so the likelihood is he'll be evil.
I don't know. I mean, well, Alec Guinness. Alec Guinness was a bit of a Brit, and he was freaking Obi-Wan. So calm down.
Yes, how long ago was that?
I don't know, but dude, all this does is tell me just how bad things are going for Jude Law. You know, he used to be the shit in Hollywood. Now he's shit in Hollywood.
Yeah. We got a super chat about this real quick. Matthew Brown for $9.99 says, "I watched the first episodes and I was just done with it. House of the Dragon is great because yes, it has diversity, but it also has great writing. And Acolyte is a prime example of terrible writing. Yeah, I mean, I quite like House of Dragon, to be honest. I was doing reviews of it, but they weren't getting enough views, so I just sort of watched it for myself. Overall, great. Like, just good. Just the writing's pretty decent. Bit of a meandering season, but built to a bit of a crescendo, so it was enjoyable overall. But yeah, Acolyte is garbage writing.
Yeah, and the thing is, House of the Dragon has gay couples, interracial couples, diversity all over the place. Why is it not getting review bombed?
Because nobody cares. Because outside of the first month where they propped up that one black guy to try to make it a controversial thing when they were promoting the first season. Nobody gave two flips. I mean, they were like, whatever, bro. I mean, like he's making an issue out of the fact that they race swapped something out of the books. I don't think anybody really cares all that much. But you know, it's like it's this as opposed to what you guys have this Lenny Henry or whatever. He's a freaking moron. He's the one that blew up, or one of the people that blew up the Amazon Lord of the Rings. So you know, it depends on how you go about it. You can do diversity. We've been doing diversity for 50 years. It's not the problem. You know, it's in television. Been doing it for over 50 years. So you know, in a big way. You know, even farther back than that. So
got a super chat very specifically about the Acolyte from D. Super chats big $20. So thank you so much, D. And says the power of one, the power of two, the power of getting cancelled. Oh well. The misandrist queer feminist fan fiction was not popular and people were not down with the bigot Amandla. I am shocked. Yeah, accurate. I think what people need to remember, and the great example is the gaming industry at the moment. So in a capitalist society, you cannot push an agenda on people that is quite literally the polar opposite of their core convictions. You just can't do it. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to pay for it. They don't give a shit. They're not interested. Capitalist society pushing sort of this, you know, socialist, Marxist rhetoric, this kind of nonsensical social agenda. It's not going to work, is it? Let's be honest. Unless you force people to pay for it, which they, you know, maybe that's the next step that they're going to go to. Capitalism, baby. That's it. That's how it works. The gaming industry is you know, they've done that real quick. They've speed run to multiple gaming studios shutting down now as a result of, you know, these games which cost $200 million to make, and they've just been going bankrupt because no one's buying shit. Yeah, well, I mean, a movie, you know, you've got a broader audience, so you know the movie business has been propped up by, you know, a vast, you know, a higher audience base. But even they're cottoning onto it now. So yeah, you're screwed now, aren't you? Really?
Well, the game industry is in huge trouble. I mean, one of the things we've been covering over on That Game Place is the fact that they've just released 3 failures in a row from major studios or ties to major studios, like this Dustborn game that doesn't have more than 80 people that are playing it concurrently. They just released it. It's like
worldwide.
And then today, Concord dropped. That's coming out of PlayStation Entertainment through their Firewalk Studios. That released today. There's hardly anybody playing that. Nobody bought it. It was a giant DEI dumpster fire, you know, full of woke, divisive baloney sausage. And you know, these games are coming out of the woodwork. I mean, we're covering a game studio failures. I predicted 9 this year. I was incredibly wrong. It's going to be well more than 9 that fail in 2024. Jesus. Yeah. So, and it's all because they went into this pursuit of the modern audience, which does not exist, because the people you're targeting these, the people they target these games at are what, 0.016 of the population, you know, and at the same time, they don't buy shit.
No, exactly. They don't have money.
Yeah.
And because they don't understand that you've got to work for money. So they don't understand hard work. But these people don't have cash. They don't have spare cash. They are just,
no, they're crying. Yeah. They're crying because their mom's kicking them out of the house at the age of 30 because
the state and their mummies and daddies, just pathetic.
And you do remember the kickoff to this conversation was from that Roka guy. You remember we have a Roka clip in the back.
The old Collider, one of the old Collider guys.
Yeah, he has advice for us.
Find your fucking balls and your cock and be okay with it.
Man, he is a nut job, man.
Yep.
Hate him. He's a loser.
He reminds me of the dude from the Young Turks. Was
Chunk. Chunk.
Chunk.
I know it's
Brown
Chink,
Buffalo.
but yeah, Chunk.
I was going to say a similar thing about the Acolyte, about how what a small percentage of the population. Okay, if it's sort of aimed at lesbian couples that adopt children or something, right? The hardcore lesbians, committed lesbians, not sort of lesbian adjacent younger women.
The tourists.
Yeah, the full blown committed lifelong lesbians. That's a tiny percentage of people, and yeah, they're not going to be watching Star Wars stuff. They're not going to be buying Star Wars merch.
Yeah.
So it's madness. Yeah, absolute madness, and they get what they deserve, really.
Yeah, it's like catering a woman's cologne to male construction workers. You know, why would you do that? It makes no sense.
Or trying to shield Bud Light with like a really bad transgender dude.
Yeah.
Like
they learned their lesson.
A monstrous transgender dude. Anyway.
Harley Davidson, they're learning their lesson, and now they're reversing course. You know, these companies, they always find out the hard way. You know, they have all these people surrounding them in their corporate environments, like, hey, we need to do this, more diversity, more, we got to recognize and protect these people's rights and make sure they're included and all this stuff. And so, they're being told this and they're just sitting there going, okay, these are the people we hired to, go and do this research and stuff. So yeah, if that's what you guys say, and then they end up doing all this and then catch the backlash and they're like, whoa, what's going on? And then those people end up learning the truth that nobody actually wants this crap. And then they have to reverse course, which is what Harley Davidson is now doing.
Can I just suggest, just as my final word on this, that the problem is that the executives you're talking about, Nick and Bo, the people who are decision making around these shows, they are the same people that were paying attention to parrot analytics, which is a hope and a dream and bullshit from social media posts.
Yeah,
because that's what it is.
Yeah,
right.
And Sweet Baby Inc. is the same thing to the gaming studios.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. I think we've suitably covered that, to be honest. Nice one.